Talk about a small world. An Orthodox-raised New York Jew has just penned the first collection of Arabic idioms in the Palestinian dialect. The book was highly praised this summer by then Israeli President Reuven Rivlin, who proudly handed out these books to visiting Arab diplomats in the wake of the Abraham Accords, which normalized relations between Israel and several countries in the region. Interest continues to grow in this book and the story behind it. And with us now is the author of Arabic idioms in the Palestinian dialect, Robbie Berman. Robbie, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
I know this is now translated in several languages. I want to hold up the book here and just start with the name, as I can read it here clearly in English.
Yes.
Min Taq Taq.
Yes, Min Taq Taq is an Arabic idiom, and it means, the whole idiom is Min Taq Taq la assalamu alaikum, and it means from the knock to the goodbye. It means all the details. Your girlfriend came over last night at 11 o'clock at night. I want to hear the whole story, what happened. Min Taq Taq, from the moment she knocked at the door, la assalamu alaikum, to the moment you said goodbye to her.
The opposite of yada, yada, yada.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So I want to ask, explain what is an idiom, and then there's Arabic idioms, but then why also do we have to clarify in the Palestinian dialect? What's unique about that? So much so that visiting Arabs would want to learn specifically about this.
Right, great question. So idioms, people confuse idioms with proverbs, and they're not the same thing. Proverb connotes wisdom. So birds of a feather flock together. But an idiom is basically an expression that you use and not to be taken literally. So for example, it's raining cats and dogs. Okay? It doesn't really mean it's raining cats and dogs. It just means it's raining. There's no wisdom conveyed there. So Proverbs has wisdom. My book has zero wisdom in it. It's a way to help people to communicate better together. And when Palestinians hear you use an idiom, an expression that only they use, all of a sudden the tension comes down. They become more friendly. They smile. This morning I was in Talpiot trying to get my car fixed, and the guy wanted like 3,000 shekel. These two Arab brothers. I said, "Can't you bring it down?" They said, "No." I said, "Isma'u, kulna ullatisa." We're all children of 9, which is an idiom in Arabic, which means we're all children who incubated in our mother's womb for 9 months, meaning we're all human beings here. Help a brother out. When I said that, they smiled, they laughed, they said, "How do you know our language like that?" And it felt good. They didn't give me the discount that I wanted, but still we had a nicer conversation as a result.
Tell me some more ones that are interesting to you. I mean, that's a really interesting one. We're all brothers of 9. What other ones kind of stand out to you as being really cool?
Yeah,
that
so
you drop in there?
So I really like figurative ones, such as when a guy causes himself a lot of trouble, he's causing trouble for himself. You say, he carries the ladder horizontally. You know, in that image of someone trying to get through a door carrying that horizontally.
Yeah, very visual.
Very visual, yeah. There's another great one when you're negotiating with someone and you've decided this is your last price and the guy is still trying to handle with you, he's still trying to negotiate with you, you want to tell him to take a hike. You say, Il bab bifawat jamal. The door is big enough for a camel. So if you don't like what I'm putting forth here, you and your camel can both take a hike. The door is big enough for both of you.
Are there ones, they're more, let's say, amid the COVID pandemic and so much struggle and strife, and I mean, is there something that comes to mind just in the situation of the world that we find ourselves in here? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, but you are putting me on the spot. Well, I'll tell you one that's considered, they use it even in Lebanon, because the Palestinians that left Israel in 1948 that live in Lebanon, they use it. It's a little bit on the edge. It's when you want to say something is over, the opportunity is over, stop doing what you're doing, the time is past. You say, Fat is sabt fi tiz il Yehudi, which means the Sabbath has entered the behind of the Jew, meaning it's Shabbos already. It's Shabbos, stop doing what you're doing, the time has passed, you no longer, and they use this even in Lebanon. So there is cross-cultural stuff. I mean, there are a lot of idioms that, for example, a white lie is also in Hebrew a white lie, in Arabic it's a white lie, but most idioms are unique to a language and a culture, and in Palestine, in the West Bank, and Israel, they have unique ones for them.
Tell me about your interest in this and how, a guy growing up in New York, how did you learn Arabic and become focused on that?
When I made Aliyah, I didn't speak any Hebrew, and I went to Misrad Pnim and the Ministry of Interior, and they were asking me for all these documents to prove I was a Jew. They said they wanted to see my circumcision certificate. I said, I don't have a circumcision. I can show you I'm circumcised, but I can't show you my certificate. So I said at a certain point, I said to the woman, at nohegat oti bananot. You are driving me bananas. And she said, what are you talking? That doesn't make any sense. That's an idiom. It doesn't translate. So I realized to learn a language, you have to learn idioms. When I started learning Arabic 12 years ago, I began to encounter a lot of idioms. I began to write them down. After many years, I put down 1,000 idioms. Then I hired researchers, and now we have 1,800 idioms in the book. And I'll give you one which really got me started. I was having a conversation with an Arab about politics, and he said to me, Hon marbat al-faras. here the horse is tied, which is very similar to the Hebrew one, here the dog is buried, po kavor kelev, which means this is the crux of the matter. And that's how they say it in Arabic. When you use that idiom in Arabic, they smile, they're happy that you took the time to learn their culture.
A lot of hundreds and hundreds of idioms here in the book. A great reception, not just from Israeli diplomats and lawmakers, but also from visiting dignitaries who want their hands on it. What's next for you?
So I have another project I'm working on that's going to come out in 6 months. I'm having a Haggadah, which you say in the night of his Leil Seder, the night of the Seder, in Hebrew, and in the transliteration of spoken Palestinian Arabic. So people can actually use it as another point to learn Arabic on the night of the Seder. Instead of reading Ma nishtana ha'layla zeh, you can sing Shu il farq haylayla min kul laylat, and it's a way for people to learn Arabic. And the second thing I'm doing a together with my publisher Minerva, we're doing a Palestinian culture festival in Jerusalem in May, where people will be learning about Arabic food, which will all be kosher, Arabic music, Arabic language, things of that nature. Try to bridge the gap between the people.
In the wake of the Abraham Accords, how are you surprised by the reaction that you're getting for your books and for this work from people across the Gulf who want to be able to learn language and cross-connect in that way?
I was shocked when I got a phone call from a brigadier general in the Israeli army last week who told me that he gave his book as a present to the head of the Shabak. So that was actually quite interesting. It wasn't exactly the purpose of my book to get, Shmona Matayim, the intelligence units to be used in the book, but it's basically a bridge, because I think, people say to me, why do you want to learn how to speak Arabic? It's not that I want to learn how to speak Arabic. I want to learn how to listen to Arabs. I want to speak and have real conversations with people. And the way to do that is not through proverbs, throwing out these one sentences, pieces of wisdom, but learning how to communicate with idioms and expressions.
Hundreds of really cool, fascinating idioms here. Min Taq Taq here, and again, available for purchase. Your car's running okay now, despite the fact...
Yeah, I had to pay top dollar, but yes, that's Arabic to English. We have also Arabic to Hebrew, and Arabs are using the book to learn English, and Arabs are using the book to learn Hebrew, because they're going in the other direction of the book.
Incredible cross-cultural, cross-language connection here. Thank you so much, Robbie, for being with us on the Zoom In Show. Great to have you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And more